Profitability levels in the banking sector have declined, driven by the mark-to-market losses on investments, higher impairments on loans, and rising operating costs. Profit after tax was 3.9 billion Ghana cedis at the end of December 2022, representing an 18.9% contraction year-on-year compared to 12.3% annual growth recorded in 2021. Net interest income grew by 23% to 15.8 billion Ghana cedis, higher than the growth of 14.5% in 2021. Net fees and commissions went up by 27.4% to 3.7 billion Ghana cedis from the growth of 24.8% recorded in 2021. Accordingly, operating income increased by 30.9% compared with 14.6% recorded a year earlier. The strong outturn in operating income was, however, moderated by increased operating expenses and provisioning during the year. Operating expenses rose by 32.2% in December 2022 compared to 14.2% in 2021. Provisions also increased sharply by 184% in December 2022 relative to a contraction of 4.7% a year earlier, due to the strong uptick in credit growth, elevated credit risks, and the impairments on investments. As a result, profit before tax declined by 13% to 6.4 billion Ghana cedis in December 2022, compared with an annual growth of 22.1% a year earlier. New loans and advances in 2022 increased to 53.7 billion Ghana cedis, reflecting an annual growth of 47.5% compared with a growth of 6.8% in 2021.
We set out to find out budgetary allocations, releases and disbursements for immunization. What we realized was that at the national level, government expenditure on immunization, routine immunization and vaccine procurement constitutes just about half of the total funding for immunization, which suggests that our donors are funding immunization more. And we think that at this stage in the life of our country, we should begin to work hard towards taking full responsibility of immunization of our children, because come what may, in some few years to come, we will exit the Gavi plan, and it means that we have to fund immunization 100% from our internal coffers. So the earlier we begin to practice that, the better it will be for our children and to maintain gains that we have made as a people in terms of coverage of immunization. At the district level, once it is budgeted for by the DHMT and incorporated into the composite plan of the district assembly, the likelihood of having funds released for immunization is high. But as we saw from the presentation, these are very low amounts, between 1% and 4% of the health budget of the district is given to immunization. And we are not saying it's low. Inferring, the district themselves have said that it is inadequate and unable to help them to undertake their immunization activities as they wish to. And once they have inadequate funds, it impacts their coverage in terms of targets that have been set for them to cover a number of children. So it affects their targets, because staff are unable to move out. They need the transportation. staff must be constantly trained to be abreast with, diseases that are breaking out. They must have their backpacks or logistics that they need to work with. If they do not have it, they will not be able to be efficient in their work, and that will impact on the number of children we reach. We have made gains as a country. We want to either maintain or move ahead, and so whatever it takes for us to cover every child, because according to the SDG, no child should be left behind. And so for us to move ahead and not leave any child behind, we need the resources. If government is contributing just half of what is required, then we encourage government to increase what it gives, and whatever is allocated, government must also keep its commitment by releasing the fund and ensuring that the staff are using it for the intended purposes and they are attaining the results. If you don't release the funds, you don't expect the health staff to perform magic to achieve the targets you have given them.
Mommy, you fish can see about Kotoso. Mepoga, send me sick from Lemonade Finance. While Brian did the shade and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Extinguishing in Suya. Unbeatable. We should be promo code Dr. Like £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. With this Sunday cigar aquafino, download to Lemonade Finance.
I want to urge the implementing agency and the ministry that the TUC will always be there to support this process. We are willing to help secure accommodation, not only accommodation, but decent accommodation to all workers. So we want to urge you to, as quickly as possible, extend this to all the regions. Because when we do something, we call it National Rental Assistance Scheme, and we limit it to regions, not all the 16 regions, it's a bit problematic. It doesn't matter how many you support in each region. I think we should try and do that. I also want to appeal to the ministry and all those who assess the applications. Let's prioritize women, especially mothers with children without husbands, the single mothers. You see, if you provide accommodation to one single mother who has 2 children, it's much better than providing accommodation for others who have no children. I'm saying this because of the experience I've gathered. If you manage to do that, by the time you realize one of those children have already graduated and they are building houses for that mother. And I've seen that personally. So I understand that all those who are 18 plus are qualified. Of course, they are all Ghanaian. But in order to get the best from this program or this scheme, let's pay some more attention to single mothers, especially those with 2 children or 1 child or 2 children, because they need that support from the state. And this is going to help not only the mother, but also the children. I know one thing that will come out of this that many people may not think about. The houses that will be put up for renting, we must make sure they are located in places where the children in that household can have access to schooling. If we do that, and we move them from the uncompleted buildings where they are lodging now into a decent place where there is school, there are additional benefits from this scheme that may not be captured. But I can imagine that in the next few years, we will meet here again and we should be able to count how many Ghanaians have benefited from this. Because many of our schemes and projects, we just leave them and we don't access and monitor. So when I saw the concept note and I saw monitoring, I was very happy.
There's no way you can, from all your own narration, these amounts have been outstanding since 2010. And it probably means that these debts were incurred even before 2010. There's no way we are going to get the money. So why haven't you taken up the recommendation of the auditor up to now?
Mr. Chairman, we are taking the steps now.
What steps? Give me the details.
You know, we sent out demand notice.
No, what steps are you taking to get approval to write it off?
We will write to the board.
You have not done anything. Tell me you have not done anything.
Okay.
The MD will kindly answer that.
Honorable Chair, we needed to be sure that they are not collectible. And that's why we started with those processes and we were able to get the 45,000 and then the 600. And so now we realize that it is not possible and we will now write to the board to carry out the processes so that we can seek the approval to write them off. Thank you.
I'm not satisfied. These amounts have been outstanding since 2010. And the auditors are recommending that take steps to get it written off from your books. And you say that you are sending demand letters and what have you.
Meanwhile, you have told us that you don't even know the addresses of the customers. So I don't think you are really being, I don't know how to put it. You are not being candid with us. Just do what the auditors have said and be free.
Honorable Chair,
Thank you.
do according to what you have said. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that the steps should be taken quickly. So you can write up this, because even if you read paragraph 2483, your reply to the auditors says that most of the receivable dates back from 2005. So it's not even 2010. So the age of the debts are so high that it should be written off. All right, so let's move on to 2485. Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, thank you. The infraction here has to do with failure to withhold taxes amounting to 115,730 Ghana cedi. And this, you have about quite a number of PVs that were involved in this. Let me find out what is the state of this tax that was not withheld. Have you now been able to do the needful? Because it's in breach of section 116 of the Income Tax Act. Should I ask the question again?
Okay. Yes. Honorable Chair, we have been withholding taxes, but these transactions are exception. Reason why I'm saying this is, if you look at our operation, anytime there is a pipe burst and water is gushing out profusely, we have to rush to the place and then do the repairs. And on the spur of the moment, you need to go and hire a crawler or an excavator to come help so that they can fix the repair. You can't go and tell the hirer of the excavator that, look, the money that you will give me, I will withhold, if services is 7.5, I will withhold this from the money that I will pay you. It is not possible. You have to do something, because we are fighting the non-revenue water, which is one of the canker that is killing the company. So in order to do the quick repairs, we'll have to, hire and pay so that we can do the work. That is why at times you see those isolated
You are the finance
cases.
director, right? I think that I'm not satisfied with your explanation. Okay? You know that this thing is going to cost you this much, and you know there's a tax component on it. You add it, so that when you are now paying, you are able to withhold it. So this explanation doesn't sit well with me. But the most important thing is that you've been able to do the needful, okay? And so let's ensure that we don't have such issues coming up again.
Honorable Chair, I've taken the advice.
Now, what is it called? Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, the tax component was paid from their own resources. Thank you. Without collecting from the various suppliers involved.
Okay, so it's been paid. And this is an anomaly that we have all identified. I think going forward, they will do the needful. Is that not the case? Yes. So, Chairman, but before I hand over, let me acknowledge the presence of my mathematics teacher at the Dabango Secondary School, who's now the MD for the Ghana Water, a very good mathematician. Yes, so I decided to finish the questions before doing the introduction, so that it doesn't have anything to do with my questioning. Thank you, Chairman. Yeah, they've paid.
MD, was he a good mathematician?
Let's move to paragraph 2490, Honorable Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much, Chairman. This has to do with misapplication of disposable process. Ghana Water, your internal control policy requires that proceeds from the disposable fixed assets be deposited into a sinking fund account. However, the Upper West Region Office of the Ghana Water Company Limited disposed an old tank of 50,165 Ghana cedis, but you could not transfer this into the sinking fund account as required by section 14.18 of your organization's procedure and accounting manual. First, what has happened to this infraction?
Honorable Chair, I just want to do some correction. It is not Upper West region, it is Upper East region. And what we have done is to have deducted this amount, the proceeds from the region's operational mandate, and we have paid same into the sinking fund account. We have also issued a circular reminding all regional and unit heads that, look, when you sell off or you dispose of assets, okay, I'm sorry for the use of that word. So we've issued a circular to the regions and the units that anytime they dispose of company property or assets or any scrap, they should ensure that they send the money or they transfer the money into the sinking fund account.
All right, thank you. Auditors, are you able to confirm if they've normalized the practice, and also the bit about Upper West region, Upper East and not Upper West region?
Honorable Chair, the necessary training has been done and the money has been transferred to the actual account. Thank you.
All right, so thank you. That'll be all for Ghana Water Company. You are discharged. We'll now move on to Water Resources Commission, and paragraph 2496 is actually on your operational result. So do we have the Chief Executive, the CEO for the Water Resources Commission?
Honorable Chair, the acting executive secretary is indisposed, so the accountant is standing in for her.
Okay, thank you. All right. So your operational result, in fact, the income statement, you have three main sources of income: IGF, GOG subvention, and other income. What is your IGF? What constitutes your IGF, and what constitutes your other income?
Our IGF, the composite of IGF is water users, drillers, fees from water users and drillers. And other income is money from project donor funds.
So for this particular year, 2019, who are those donors?
2019, we got funds from UNICEF to undertake a public awareness activity. And also we got money from Ministry of Food and Agriculture to undertake a dredging activity in the white water around Boga.
All right, for your IGF, you said fees from water users. I'm also a water user. Do I pay you anything? And if I pay you, what means do I pay you? By what means?
The water users are those who extract water for industrial purpose, commercial purpose, like Ghana Water and others. Okay.
Not the individual water users?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you. So at least you've been able to turn your deficit in 2018 to a surplus of 600, which is good. What is the situation like now? Are you still operating?
Honorable Chair, we are doing very well because last year we were able to achieve our target for IGF. We've never exceeded 2.7 million. We've never exceeded for the previous year, but Last year, we were able to get 4.3 million. That means we are doing well.
But if you relate it to your expenditure, is there any excess?
There are measures from audit recommendation that we should cut down
No.
expenditure.
Answer my question.
So we are
if you
reducing.
relate your income that you say you got 4 million, if you relate it to your expenditure, is there an excess of income over expenditure? Yes. Or excess of expenditure over income?
Excess of income over expenditure, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, your current ratio also look good, so that's okay. That'll be all for you. We now move to paragraph 2505, Water and Sanitation Board, Bono Region. Honorable Akwesi.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Chairman, this infraction has to do with an outstanding debt of 11,856 Ghana cedis related to 166 customers. The auditors recommend that recoveries be made of these outstanding debts. We would want to know the status of this recovery.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The clerk has invited the managers of those water systems. These water systems are more of community managed, so they are available, and they will answer the questions. They actually they are managed, they are supervised by the disassemblies. So the managers are here, and if you permit, they will come and answer the questions.
Have they taken part in the oath?
Please, yes.
Okay, so let's have the Bono region.
Welcome. Okay, I'd like to put the question again. It has to do with an outstanding debt at Katachikrum in Bono region, a total of about 11,856 Ghana cedis related to 166 customers. What is the status of these debts? Has any recoveries been made?
Thank you, Honorable. Yes.
Sorry. Chairman, with your permission, they've not introduced themselves to be captured by Hansard. So if they can do that, yes, before you go ahead and answer.
I'm Collins Tre, the chairman of Water and Sanitation Board, Katachikrum.
I'm Kusuno Alex, the manager of Katachikrum Water and Sanitation Board.
Please, can I go on?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, please, we took the recommendation from the audit service, and then we wrote a demand notice to our customers, and most of them have made part payment. Others to have fully paid it.
So out of the 11,800, how much have you recovered?
We have recovered about 42,000 Ghana cedis now. 4,200 Ghana cedis now, sorry. Sorry.
That would have been an over recovery. And have you shown evidence of that to the auditors?
Attached to our response, yes.
Auditors, can you confirm a recovery of 4,000 Ghana cedis out of the 11,000?
Honorable Chair, please, we can confirm. Thank you.
the auditors say they can't confirm. It means we've not shown evidence of that to the auditors. Do you have that here?
We have the evidence here. We brought the receipts of those who have paid them.
Then I would urge that you show that to the auditors. So what efforts are you doing to recover the outstanding amount of about 7,000 Ghana cedis? Does that include the school that owes 51 Ghana cedis?
The school have finished paying theirs. Yes. Honorable, announcement have been made at the information center and then at our place. Most of our customers are farmers. And then when it's time for cashew season like this, that is where our customers pay their debts and other things. So now that it is cashew season, most of them too, the remaining ones have started paying it. So I'm sure by the close of March, they will have finished paying it all.
Okay, I would urge you to double your efforts and recover the 7,000, but do well to show the evidence of the recovery to the auditors and subsequent ones that you do. Mr. Chairman, that will be all for them.
Thank you. Is the water system still working, providing water to the people?
Yes, please.
And there are new bills that you are issuing to the customers?
Yes, please.
Are they paying those ones?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now show the evidence of the 4,200 that you have collected to the auditors. And then we encourage you to continue and make sure you recover the balance. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's move on to the next one. Honorable Alex Wotoje.
Thank you.
It's also Drobo. I think it's the same thing, so you have to stay. Go on.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, 2505 has to do with an outstanding debt of 84,894 Ghana cedis, being debt that the Drobo Water and Sanitation Board has failed to collect from individuals and some corporate institutions. The auditors have advised them to adopt measures such as demand notices and disconnection to get these monies. How far have you gone with the advice of the auditors?
Thank you, Honorable. We are Kach Water and Sanitation Board, and then there is difference between Drobo Water and Sanitation Board and Kach Water and Sanitation Board. So I think this question will go to Drobo Water and Sanitation Board, but not Kach Water and Sanitation Board. Thank you.
And are they also here?
I'm not sure, sir.
Drobo is not here.
Yes.
Honorable Minister,
Chairman,
haven't you invited the Drobo water system managers?
Honorable Chair, like the CEO of Ghana Community Water and Sanitation Agency said, they are all under the district assemblies. So he did state at the beginning of his submission that the secretariat, the clerk, the clerk invited all of them.
Yeah. In fact, the clerk invited all of them. So it means that the Drobo Water and Sanitation Board refused to honor the invitation by this committee.
I'll presume so, Mr. Chairman.
All right. I'm sure they are listening to us. And yes.
Would you take the opportunity to find out as to whether Dormaa people are here? Dormaa is the next one.
Yeah, when we get there, we'll know. Let's deal with this one first. They are far away in the Buna region. And are they close to you?
Yes, please, Honorable.
They are close to you?
Yes.
When you are coming, did you tell them that actually PSC invited us, so are you also part of it? Did you perchance discussed with the manager?
I had a chance and spoke to the AC, the accountant, and I'm not sure. She said they have never received such letter.
Well, record shows that the letter have been received.
Actually, we will receive ours on a Tuesday around 4:30 p.m.
4:30 p.m.
Yes.
All right. We will do a follow-up. We'll make a follow-up call to them. They did. My clerk is just informing me that they received the letter.
Okay.
And somebody even called our office. So I'm wondering why they refused to come. But we'll take a decision on that. And the decision the committee is going to take can affect them. So let's release. What is the name? How do you pronounce the name? Katachi Krum.
Katachi Krum.
Katachi Krum. You are discharged. Katachi Krum, you are discharged.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take decision on the Drobo one. Let's move to the next one, which is in Ahafo. I think the road Brong Ahafo. No, Ahafo region. So that is it Dormaa? Dormaa. Are they here? Please come forward. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Asari Abdul Mumin, Assistant Director 1, Tampo Municipal Assembly.
Kakari Samuel, Administrator, Dormaa Water System.
So, ranking member, we take it.
The auditors noted that management of water and sanitation team, Dormaa, made 20 payments totaling 16,456 cedis for goods and services without providing the necessary supporting documents, such as invoices, receipts, and statement of claim to authenticate them. We were therefore unable to confirm the expenditure was made in the interest of water and sanitation system. We recommend that the chairman, Mr. Emmanuel Chey, the financial secretary, Mr. Amankwa Eric, Senior, should refund the total amount of 16,496. Has it been refunded?
No, Mr. Chairman. What has happened is that the receipts and those invoices that were not acknowledged have all now duly been acknowledged.
When the auditors were with you, why didn't you provide those receipts? And then, how did you get them later?
Mr. Chairman, if you know where Dormaa is located, most of the suppliers within the enclave do usually not have invoices and these receipts. But because it's a requirement of law for we to deal with firms that have all these things, usually when we want to undertake an activity, we try to educate those people to get the necessary documents. But at times, they get with the invoice. When it is time for the payment, they struggle with the receipts. So what the managers normally do is that they advance the payment to them and later pursue them for the receipts. And this is the practice which is happening there. And as an assembly, we were not aware of this development until this issue came up. So when it was brought to our attention, we helped the managers of the water system.
You said that.
Yes, sir.
If I know where Dormaa is.
Yes, sorry. Oh, sorry.
So, oh no, there's no problem.
Okay.
The people usually don't have receipts and documents.
Yes.
So if you again say that, they pay them the money and charge them for the receipts. Where do they get the receipts from there?
Yes, sorry. As I was saying, so when...
But you know that is not a good procedure. Yes. As an accountant, sure. you cannot pay people and then without the documents, and then later on you go and chase them for receipts or documents. It's not proper. So I don't believe your story. I'm being frank with you.
Mr. Chairman, as I was saying, you know, the water system. Okay, sorry, sir. Yeah, the water system, they have a team managing the system. And I must say that most of the dealings at that level, normally we at the assembly are not aware. So when this issue came up, it was when the managers of the system approached the assembly. So when they came, we sat down with them and we told them what they should have done then. So in the process, we assisted them through how to get the necessary receipts from the suppliers they dealt with. So when the auditors came, they had the invoices, but the issue was the receipt. And they confused the invoice to be receipt. So when they came, we made it clear to them that,
Auditors, are you satisfied that the documentation has now been provided?
Honorable Chair, we don't have any document with us. Thank you.
Yes, please, we've not provided the document, but we have it here. Okay, sorry.
When did you provide a document to the audit? In fact, let me find out. Did you provide a document to the auditors in the districts?
Please, we did. We did.
The answer should be yes or no.
Yes, please.
So when did you do that?
Please, it was yesterday.
So yesterday, you don't expect them to communicate to their bosses in Accra. That is why we are getting the answer here. They don't have any information about that. So because you are coming to PSC, you quickly went and manufactured receipts and gave to them yesterday.
No, Mr. Chairman. No, Mr. Chairman.
Is that the coordinating director?
No, please.
You are?
I'm an assistant director.
Assistant director 2?
Yes, please. That one, assistant director 1.
Director 1?
Yes.
So you provided the receipt yesterday? Only yesterday?
Yes, please.
So are they genuine receipts?
Mr. Chairman, let me...
Are they genuine receipts?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, yes, they are genuine receipts.
How can you prove that they are genuine receipts?
Mr. Chairman, I can prove they are genuine receipts because if you look at the invoices that were used at the time of the audit and the receipts now they have, you cannot find any difference between the two.
Okay.
You see that they are from the same source.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I also wanted to...
Your method of judgment.
Yes. Yeah.
So what date do you have the receipt you provided yesterday? What date?
What are the dates on this?
The dates on that receipt you provided yesterday.
Sorry. Mr. Chairman, the administrator will speak to that.
Okay.
But regarding the submission of the documents, in fact, it was yesterday we attempted to submit to the district audit service.
Yes.
But we were advised that we should bring the documents here.
Okay.
So that after the engagement, we can make copies available to the audit team here.
Okay.
So they did not take it. But they advised us
they
to
didn't take it?
They didn't take it. So we have copies of that here.
So let me now know what is the date on the receipts.
Mr. Chairman, please, we contacted our suppliers. So they backdate the receipts.
They backdate the receipt. Honorable members, order. Honorable members, we are all laughing. In fact, even our witnesses are laughing. But that is what most of them do. That's what they do. He's an honest person, so he said they backdated the receipts. He spoke the truth.
The truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes. So that tells you how the system works. You see? Something that happened in 2019, for which the audit was done in 2020. Now, the receipts was written on 1st February 2023, backdated. And that receipt, if you trace it to the records of that company or enterprise, you won't get it anywhere, recorded in any of their books. So the whole system, it's some way. Come again. Well, if you ask of the date, the backdated dates, probably will be going somewhere else again. So let's end it there. Let's move on to the next. We'll take a decision on that. Now the next one is paragraph 2519. Honorable Sampson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Answer unsupported payment, 6,556. Auditor's recommendation that manager, Mr.
Sorry. There is one still under Dormaa. So that one is a corporate debt. Assistant Director 1.
Honorable Chairman.
There's a debt of 31,105 Ghana cedis. Yes. The auditors recommended that the defaulters should settle the indebtedness. Have they settled the money, the debts?
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. Effort was made after the audit. And as I speak now, the water system has been able to recover 9,328 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos worth from the debtors. And details of that is also attached to the document we furnished to this committee.
I'm sure that one too have not been submitted to the auditors.
Yes, that one too has not been submitted.
So the auditors, you have to verify both. And what effort is being made to recover the balance?
Now, one major debtor in Dormaa area is the Dormaa Health Center.
Okay.
And then the Ghana Police Post at Dormaa.
Okay.
As I speak with
if you have a police post at Dormaa, then you can't say if you know where Dormaa is. They have a police post and a health center too.
Yes. And Mr. Chairman,
it's a big place.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, for the past 3 months, all these public facilities have had their waters disconnected to them, to exert pressure on them to also see the need to service part of the debt. So that is what the managers have so far done, and a lot of the individual households who have been disconnected as well. Because it was one of the recommendations by the auditors. And because we've used all the other means and some of them are not prepared to comply, we have gone the extra mile and a lot of them have been disconnected.
But for the police, the health center, they should be reconnected as you negotiate for, because it's about life. But for the police station, that one can be disconnected until they pay the money. All right, so let's move to the next one. The Nkranza one, that is not under you, right? So you are discharged. Let's have the Nkranza, that is Bono East. Is Nkranza here? Okay. No, so Samson, you can ask your question. Honorable Minister.
Honorable Chair, do we still sit here?
Yes, please do.
Is it because it's about water?
Yes. Everything about water matters your ministry.
We'll be here.
Sure.
But I wanted to place it on record.
Yes.
That these are independent bodies,
under,
selling the water.
Yes.
They are not under us.
They are not under the ministry.
No.
But because it's about water.
That's what I want to
That's why we want you to
clarify.
remain. Yes.
I will,
yes.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Kindly introduce yourselves.
Berima Steven, the manager in Kranza Water Supply System.
Edukwesi Emmanuel, assistant accountant in Kranza Water Supply System. Thank you, Mr. Chair. In Kranza Water Supply System, you were not able to support payment of 6,556. So the auditors recommended that the managing director, Mr. Kofi Ohene Sachi, and then the accountant, Fred Daniel, should refund the money. Have you done that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In fact, after the auditors queried them with that issue, they went to their document and saw those attachments. So they attached it with the PVs, and the auditors came and authenticated it.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Honorable Chair, we cannot confirm. Thank you.
The auditors cannot confirm the statement you just made. What happens? You didn't give the documents to them?
Please, I brought the document and it has been given to the secretary. Yeah, today. Of the committee.
But the committee clerk here, Parliament here, we are not the auditors. We are talking about the district auditor and then his bosses here. Whether you have submitted those documents to them for verification. But if you brought them here and you have given to our clerk, the auditors will not have that.
Honorable, we were asked to make photocopies, 6 copies to the committee. So I thought maybe that was going to work.
Chairman, Chairman, the auditors have not received any document. In any case, the recommendation is that they should refund the money. And according to them, they've rather submitted the documents to our office here. I'm not sure that is it. So if they can make them available to the auditors for verification, that will be okay.
Where is the 2 officers, Kofi Ohene Sechi, and the accountants?
Faye Daniel.
Faye Daniel, where are they now?
Honorable, they resigned.
They resigned from the
position.
Position.
Yes,
and are they in Nkranza?
For now, I'm not seeing them over there.
You haven't seen them?
Yeah.
So, if you have not seen them, how did you know that they provided the documents to the auditors?
After the Auditor General's report came out, I went to their documents and saw them.
You saw the document?
Yes.
From the office?
Yes, sir.
But you say you went to their documents. The documents in the office are not for them?
No, the document in the office. I went to the documents in the office.
You went to the file, not the
files,
document. You can't go to document and get document.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You went to the file and you got the documents?
Yes, sir.
And you gave them to the auditors?
Yes, please.
When? When did you do that?
I saw that it has been audited.
I said, when did you give the...
Mr. Chair, I was just employed just last August.
I don't know. I don't want to know when you were employed. You told this committee that you gave the document to the auditor. I just want to know
I said I went to the files
You got the document?
And saw the document, and it has been audited. So I called them, and they said they gave it to the auditors, and they authenticated it for them.
But you told this committee a few minutes ago that you went into the file, saw the document, and gave them to the auditors.
No, sir.
You didn't say that?
No.
You gave it to the clerk, so it wasn't given to the auditors.
Chairman, I think he's mistaking the clerk for the auditors.
Okay. The secretary. So, clerk, have you received the document from Kach Water System? It's here. I can't find it. Is it the responses that you always submit to them, to us? Okay. All right, so do you have another copy? Do you have another copy?
No.
Let's get a copy for the auditors to work on. So give a copy to the auditors. Auditors, look at it and then give us your findings. Yeah, so the second one, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Your second...
It's not for you. It's not a 2523. Paragraph 2523.
Yeah, 2523.
That's for Honorable Johnson. Honorable Johnson.
Thank you, Chairman. So with Kach Water System, you offered staff advance to 11 staff members, a total amount of 80,000 Ghana cedis. Table 292 captures all the names of these 11 staff members. And out of this 80,000 Ghana cedis, 49,350 had been recovered, leaving an outstanding balance of 38,750 Ghana cedis. I want to know the status of the outstanding balance, if it has been recovered. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think the figure is 38,000, not 80,000.
I'm talking about...
Yes, it's 38,000. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, as at the time the auditors left, they were able to retrieve 27,527 cedis, 8 pesos. And when I also took over from them, I was able to retrieve 8,134 cedis, 40 pesos. So now the outstanding debt is 2,988 cedis, 52 pesos. And per the document that you are holding, our payroll is with it. So you can see the deductions from them.
It's part of the document you submitted to the clerk.
Yes, please.
So auditors, it means that the document, the set of documents you are holding also covers this one. Find out if they've been able to recover, leaving a balance of 2,000 plus. So, Honorable Roxon, paragraph 2527 is on corporate debtors. Nkuranza, you have money. You were owed by debtors to the tune of 1.6 million. And it involved 14 commercial institutions owing 12,989. And then the domestic users, 3,424 individuals or customers owing 1.139 million. And then 107 private institutions. They are also owing 443,781. And then the public standpipes, 46. They are also owing 56,258, giving the total of 1.652 million. How much have you recovered from this total debt?
Mr. Chairman, we've been able to recover 119,440 Ghana cedis.
119,440 Ghana cedis.
Yes, Chairman.
So it means that a balance of over 1 million, let's say 1.5 million.
Yeah, Chairman, our challenge is of the institutions. Mostly district
but
assembly.
the institutions are owing very small amount. How about the individual who are owing 1.1 million?
Our community is a farming community. So,
yes, we know.
Yeah, so the board has taken decision that now that we are in the cashew season, we should disconnect them and send, and even giving demand notices to some other peoples so that we can retrieve them quickly.
Do you have challenge in the collection of the revenue from the users of the water? Do you have challenge?
Mostly when it's cashew season, they do pay it frequently.
Okay.
But when the season goes off,
where they don't have money,
that's it.
They can't pay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, but we have cashew season every year.
Yes.
So why having to collect all this money during cashew period? Now you are giving us cashew periods as assurance to collect the money.
Chair, we've taken your advice and we will start taking them without relying on the cashew season.
I want to know first. I'm saying that we have cashew season every year. Why didn't you use the season to recover this money all these years? Now you want to take the advice.
Honorable Chair, this debt that we are talking of, right now, when you come to the system records, those who were owing have been paid. Some of them have paid it, but others too are owing. That's the way
So it's a revolving. It's
yes,
revolving.
Please. Yes, please.
If you go into the system today, probably even the money owed will be more than the figure here.
Whether it will be more or less.
Or less,
yes,
depending on what have been paid so far.
Yes, Chairman.
Which means that if you yourself don't even know, and you are telling me that it could be more or less, it means that you have not been updating your system. Have you been updating the system?
Yes, Chair.
Then you should know at any point in time that this is the money being owed now. When was the last time you have updated the system?
Honorable Chair, it was yesterday that I asked my secretary to do that of January for me. But because I was gathering documents to here, I couldn't go through.
So she couldn't do it before you left?
Yes, Chairman.
You started the journey yesterday or this morning?
Yesterday.
You got here this morning?
Yes, please.
Okay. Will you be going back today?
Yes, please.
How do you, can you explain to me how you operate your public standpipe system, where you have a debt of 56,256?
Honorable, for now that debt is no more, because whenever you go to their standpipes to take money, whatever that...
They say, how do you operate it?
That is where I'm going now, Honorable. Whenever you go to the standpipe, when you go to their point, you just take the money and you read your meter. So the amount that he or she gives, you check if there is debt, you will deduct it. So that when you are paying their commission, you are not going to pay it all. You just deduct the amount that he has consumed from the commission.
So then practically there should not ever be any debt on this particular account.
Yeah.
Okay, so now there are
As at now, there is no debt in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So is update of the corporate debtors also part of the document you submitted?
No, Mr. Chair.
Well, because they still provide water to the people.
Yeah.
And they bill them. As we said, it's a revolving fund. No, but once the system is still working, they provide water to the people. They still bill them. And they are paying in bits. So if you go to do an update now, either the money, the debt will be more than what we have here, or it will be less than what we have here, depending on what had been paid so far.
My worry is that these debts, he has only collected 190,000, and it has been outstanding since at least 2020. So it is not as if it is a new position. And so there are debts that are as old as 3 years that he has not collected.
So we are in a cashier season now. Have you disconnected the water to the people?
No, yet, Honorable Chair.
When are you going to do that?
From here. And even, Chairman, the situation has changed because this debt is from 2020. So as I'm talking now, the situation has changed because we are in 2020.
But you gave us a figure.
That is all 2020.
As at 2020,
yes.
that was amount which was collected.
Yeah.
So before you came here, you didn't know how much has been collected after the 2021. You don't know. So as a manager, the people who are owning your company, you don't know. How can you survive as a company? You don't know how much has been owed the company. How can you plan?
We knew it by then. That's why we were able to provide that amount.
You don't know the number of people who are owing the water system.
Honorable Chair, we know because we have a software that we use to print that debtors.
So when you were coming here, you didn't find it necessary to print that information for this committee? Then what are you coming to do? What have you come here to do? Kindly go back and print that update, okay, to the auditors, so that we'll know if the debt is being recovered as you add more debt, because it's revolving. You are still billing them, they are paying. Let's know how much the money is being recovered. And so the update as of December 2022 will help us know. And then almost, do you bill them on monthly basis?
Yes, please.
So at the end of every month, you need to get an update so that you know if you are recovering the water you are billing the people or not, okay?
Okay, Mr. Chairman.
So that'll be all for Nkranza. You are discharged. Let's have Busunya. Is it Busunya or Busunya? Introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Felix Mawaro, the accountant, Busia Water Supply System.
My name is Opokubedi Akun James. My name is Opokubedi Akun James, technical operator, Busia Water System.
So, Honorable Queenster, paragraph 2530.
Thank you, Chairman. So the auditors noted that 423 customers owed the Busunya Water Supply System worth 54,030 for supply of water as at 30th June 2020. The type of customers are the commercial institutions. They owed 7,190. Domestic users, 31,820. Public stand pipes, 15,020. Worth 54,030. And the recommendation was for management to take pragmatic measures to collect the debt. Has the debt been collected?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As at the time that the auditors finished the exercise, that was in 30th June 2020, and after they have issued their findings, instructing management to take pragmatic measures to retrieve the debt, it took less than a year, and most of the debts were recovered. And we were made available the receipts of all the payments that were made within the period. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, how much have you collected so far?
So far, we have collected 45,352 Ghana cedis, 49 pesos, Mr. Chair.
Balance of around 9,000. 9,000. It was 54 and they've collected 45.
Yes, Mr.
So
Chair.
it's around 9,000.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, okay. Auditors, can you confirm for me, please?
Honorable Chair, we don't have such information. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
thank you.
can you submit it to the auditors if you have it now?
Yes, please. We've presented to the clerk. Honorable Chair, after they have finished with the audit in 2020, we were made to give our response to the audit. Then the manager or the spending officer made me know that he has submitted it. But I was quite surprised that the auditors cannot attest to that. So I have taken it upon myself to make that responses available. And I have sent a soft copy to the district auditor for verification. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You know, the documents you submitted to the clerk, I've seen the copy, they are here. But you see, even the auditors here cannot confirm what is here. What they need to do is to go and do and trace to your cash book and your bank statement to be sure that the money hits your account before we can confirm it. So they'll be doing that. Okay? All right. Auditors, take this on board. Let the district auditor do the verification and give you the result. So that'll be all for Busunya. Busunya. Now, you are discharged. Let's have Kintampo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Kintampo. and Honorable Vice Chairman, come and introduce yourselves. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Sali Funuhu, System Manager, Kintampo Water Supply System.
My name is Asamoah Free-Set, in charge of accounts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now, you have corporate debtors who owe you 594,865 Ghana cedis. What has happened to this debt?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, as at 31st December 2020, that was during the free water period, we were able to collect 182,884 Ghana cedis, 74 pesos. And then after that, as at 31st December 2022, we were able to collect 87,916 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. After we had information from the district auditor that will be appearing before this committee, we mounted pressure through the local FM stations, the 3 FM stations, and then we were able to mobilize 19,450 Ghana cedis, 50 pesos. However, the one that was captured by the auditors was 182,884.74 Ghana cedis. For that one, the auditors came and verified. By this one, after we are done, they said once we are appearing here, we should appear. Instruction will come from here that they should come and verify and then feed the auditors information.
Okay. If you add up the 3 numbers that you gave me, it's not up to the 594,000. There's still some debt left. And how much is left after that?
Yes, Honorable Chair. When you look at the outstanding debt, the public institutions, that is the hospitals, Ghana Police, Animal Husbandry, Kintampo Senior High, Women Training Institute, they owe 282,359 Ghana cedis, 59 pesos.
And how are you getting the money from them?
Honorable Chair, we, at the last WSMT meeting, a committee was formed by the WSMT to go and meet the stakeholders, that's the police, the management of hospital, the Ministry of Agric, on how best this problem will be solved. But one challenge that we are facing is with the hospital. They have now drilled their borehole. Because they have their private borehole, anytime we approach them for the payment of this bill, it becomes a problem to us.
See, I remember very well when the government said they will give free water. But at the same time, they came back and then charged us 1% COVID levy, which they were going to use to pay for the water. You've seen the Auditor General's report on the COVID money that they shared. They didn't give you guys some to cover this amount?
Honorable Chair, they gave us.
How much were you given?
Auditors, can you confirm? Can you confirm
what they just said. Honorable Chair, we don't have any such document as to how much they've paid. Thank you. Do you have records? What, have you given those records to the auditors?
Yes, Honorable Chair. We gave it to the district auditor.
When did you do that?
That was on the 4th of January.
4th of January, what year?
2023.
But, come on. This record that you said you've given to them, okay?
Well
and I guess auditors, you may get an update from your district auditors, and we'll go from there. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. So that'll be all for Kintampo water system. Your discharge. But auditors, it means that for the regions, these water systems, from Ahafo, Bono East and Bono regions, we need an update from them. All right, so we have come to all the issues, but Honorable Minister, there are public interest questions for you. One is coming from myself, that if you recall, I asked you a question on the free water provided for Ketunov, especially Georgia, where the bill was not settled, which has affected the water system in Georgia. You came to provide an answer in Parliament that the Ministry of Finance was working on it. Up till now, the money has not been paid. When is it going to be paid?
Question. But
we are in Parliament.
I will.
We are in Parliament.
That's why I'm stressing.
Yes.
So I have my CEO to give us the latest and the current situation report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. During the period where our ministry supervised CWSA to implement the free water, we documented a total of 37 million cedis and some other amount for water system managed under what we call community management. And Ketu, yes, specifically is one of them. As at the end of December 2022, government released about 22 million, which were disbursed by CWSA to all the MMDAs. And the guidelines we provided, because these water systems are supervised by the MMDAs, when we receive the money, and we send the monies, we transfer the monies to all the MMDAs, and then they in turn send to their respective water systems. So I am sure also that if there is an issue, the MMDA will have to answer that. Because so far the government is left with only 14 million outstanding for all the water systems to be transferred. Yes. So I will check the transfer that were made specifically for Juja to the Assembly, and I'll give you a feedback on that.
Honorable Chair, I will guarantee that this information gets to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ranking Member.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam, the people of Begro and Osino, I know that there has been a water project for Begro and Osino and the surrounding villages in the pipeline since 2017. I want to know the state of that project, because the people are really suffering. The source of water for these people is the River Brim, and you and I know how it is polluted. So if you can give me the state of that project. Yes. So thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As we all know, we know the harm that Galamsey is doing to all our surface, most of our surface water bodies. So I'll crave the ranking members' indulgence to help us fight this menace, because one of the most polluted water bodies is the Brim. And this will be the source, raw source, for our raw water. So if at the end of the day we borrow money through the vision of His Excellency the President, and the water source is polluted, what will be the result? This is one. Number two, to answer your question specifically, you know there are processes we go through. The financial term sheet is with finance as I speak. And the chief director is doing the follow-up to line it up as well, because we have other water systems that we also want to undertake. So this is where we are. We'll get the response from finance, I think, after the negotiations that they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. You know, finance, I should say, will have a lot of things on their table. So I will want to know from the Chief Director, when was the last time you wrote to them or you actually approved them on this particular issue? And others, of course, that are from your ministry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Honorable Rankin drew my attention, so I followed up to finance, and I was informed that negotiations are still ongoing, but because of the situation we have, they will have to finish with the IMF negotiations. So once they finish, because the term sheet is being negotiated with a US Exim, but they've put that on hold. They want to finish, then give us a feedback.
Thank you, Minister.
Well, do you have any hair to be cut before? Then the two will not happen because you don't have any hair to cut. All right, Honorable Minister, I want to thank you for coming. We are grateful, and then because you stay on to look at how the water systems, or even though not directly under your ministry. So we are most grateful. Thank you. You are discharged.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, but just a point of information. Because of all these problems that crop up, whereby systems are not managed well in certain areas, as well as not being maintained well, it's now the policy of the ministry to make sure that if the challenges are too many, CWSA takes over. And we've taken over so far 177 systems, water systems in the communities, out of 1,538. Through that, we've been able to employ accountants, because we have attached one accountant to each system to make accountability work well. And also, we have employed 415 engineers, technician engineers as well, to maintain the systems. We know how important water is to the good people of Ghana. You know, we have also employed 177 managers to manage all the 177 systems. And we have also employed 492 other staff, made up of technical assistants, plumbers, security, etc., etc. So we are on course to make sure that the vision of water for all by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa is carried through. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
All right, so you are discharged. Now let's have Minister of Trade and Industry. So all the agencies under Ministry of Trade and Industry, that's Ghana Standards Authority, Ghana Supply Company Limited, Ghana Free Zones Authority, all come under Ministry of Trade. Honorable Caretaker Minister.
Are we set? I,
Samuel Ejinapo,
swear by the Almighty God.
Swear by the Almighty God.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Touching the matter in issue.
Touching the matter in issue.
Shall be the truth.
Shall be the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So we'll start with Ghana Standards Authority. And Honorable Minister, if you can kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, if you permit me, we will do self-introduction. And my name is Samuel Ejinapo, the Caretaker Minister for Trade and Industry. Deputy.
Sorry, my name is Michael Ochebefi, Honorable Member of Parliament for New Javin South and a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry.
Patrick Yaonimo, Chief Director, Ministry of Trade and Industry. Thank you.
Steve Pokukwati, Deputy Director, Operations, Ghana Standards Authority.
Clifford Frimpong, Acting Director General, Ghana Standards Authority.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So we'll go to your issues on paragraph 2202. Where we have the operational results of Ghana Standards Authority. You have been able to increase your surplus by 31% between 2016 and 2017. Then also increase your liquidity ratio from 10.3 to 18.4, which look good. And but this is 2017. How is the situation like as at December 2022?
Honorable Chair. Okay. Honorable Chair, I will ask my Finance Director to address that first.
Finance Director, kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Samuel Sakite. Okay. The situation as at the moment.
Did you take the oath?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The situation at the moment is that the revenue is increasing because we have found new areas of operations. For example, when you look at registration of importers at the port, because there's no human factor, and at the end of the year, the system is clean. So anybody that is bringing something into the country have to register again. So with that, system in place by outcomes, we've been able to take off human factor, and the revenue have increased from that area. And also on our destination inspection too, that one too have increased. Then we are looking at new areas of vehicle homologation. With that one too, we have started, which we are expecting revenue to come out of there. Then also on the fuel verification exercise. Previously it was 2 times, but now it's 4 times in a year. So revenue have increased from that area too. Thank you.
That's a good information, and that is making the authority more stronger in terms of being self-sustainant. There is this proposal of weaning you off government subvention. Because if you look at the financial statement, the support from government, that the subvention was only 6.9 million in 2017, while your internally generated fund was 32 million. Now you have found new areas for raise more revenue. Don't you think that we can easily wean you off subvention, government subvention?
Honorable Chair, I think it's a gradual process because we may rush and the end results may not be good. So gradually we are getting there, and that is our focus. We need to consolidate all that we have started doing, and then eventually we will be on our own.
So you are saying that these new revenue sources, you want to see how it can be sustained before if it should be weaned off?
Yes, and with the new act that we have now, there are other areas too that we can venture into, and that is why I say it's a gradual process.
Has the act been passed?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Let's move to the next one, which is a management issue, absence of land ownership and title. You have a number of properties, training school and hostel facility at North Ridge, 4-bedroom with 2 outhouses at Cantonment, 2 bedrooms at Dansuman, another 2 bedrooms at Adenta, another 2 bedrooms at Adenta. These are the SNIT flats. And they continue, 2 bedroom at Efiduasi Kofodua, 2 bedroom in Tamale, 2 bedroom in Takrady, 2 bedroom again in Tamale, 2 bedroom in Ho, and 3 bedroom in Kumasi. Now, the auditors are saying that you don't have title to the lands. And the auditors have recommended that you should ensure that ownership of these parcels of land are secured as early as possible. What action did you take on this recommendation?
Yes, Honorable Chair. After the audit, a lot has been done. We have submitted documents of indenture, land site plans and other things to the auditors, if they can confirm to that. And we are still working on the title deeds because most of these things are state, maybe from SNATE and then SIC, state Housing Corporation, SH, sorry. Because of that, getting the land titles are becoming difficult, but we are still working with them to ensure that we get it. The land title deeds. It should
rather be easy if it's from state agency to another state agency.
Yes, and that is what is me. So at our last board meeting, we are going to meet the board of the agency so that we settle it.
There's no sense of agency.
This issue was in the 2019 audit reports and repeated in the 2020 audit report. It means that year in, year out, the issue keep recurring in the report. It looks like there is no action being taken. When was the last time that the authority took action on this? Yes.
Yes, Honorable Chair, a lot is being done because if you take the land we have in Tamale, for instance, we have secured it by walling it. Kumasi, now we have secured it with a building on it, yet to move into it. I think the one
you
that
mean
is...
to say that walling the land is sufficient enough to prove of ownership?
No,
or
we
the building can be demolished if it's found that the land does not belong to you. So getting the title is more important.
Exactly so.
Chairman, give them some time to get it done.
Auditors,
Maybe 1 month or 2 months.
do you have any information on what they are doing in securing title to these parcels of land?
Mr. Chairman, I think they are making efforts, but until they get the title, we cannot provide any document to that effect to you. Thank you.
Chairman, thank you. You know I'm very passionate about these matters. ADG, you know, last year we dealt with this matter. So I want to find out which of these lands can you prioritize? It's a problem. The auditors have listed a number of property which title must be perfected. So can you tell the committee that maybe out of this number you can conveniently deal with 5 and perfect it and then move to maybe a certain number? Because we don't want to come back later this year, then in 2021, the auditors are still flagging this matter. So prioritize some and deal with them, perfect it, then you move to the rest. So that with time you can effectively perfect the title to this property.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. If I may just volunteer information to the committee and also an assurance to the effect that I'm scheduled to meet the Ghana Standards Authority in the coming days. And I want to assure the committee that between the management, myself, and the board of the authority, we will do exactly what my honorable colleague is asking us to do, which is to prioritize them. Mercifully, I'm also responsible for land, so we will see how we'll fast track the resolution and get them titled. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Minister, for your assurance. But I just want to remind you that this problem is widespread. Almost every state institution that we look at has an issue of a land that the title has not been perfected. So you may have to do a bigger job of just the whole, every ministry, every corporation, every agency. So you have to do a bigger job of that. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Mr. Chairman, yes, I want to associate myself with the concern raised by the ranking member and to give further assurance that we will take all the necessary steps and employ the best endeavors to ensure that all public institutions whose lands are not perfected will be dealt with. But we should be mindful also of the new Act, Act 1036, which talks about user rights and not necessarily title. And at the same time, I also want to respectfully submit that we should be mindful of granting title to state institutions who then deal in the land as though it is their private land and create third-party encumbrances which compromise the interests of the state. So we will look at all of that. We'll look at that. Thank you.
I don't understand your Last part. If you grant title to the state institution, isn't granted in the name of the individuals?
No, what I'm saying is that the new Land Act, Act 1036, seems to have effected a change to what right a public institution can have in a public land, which is that, so if you were to give public land to Ghana Standards Authority, they will not be given title, I mean absolute title. They will be given right of use, user right, a title to use it, you know, and the title will not be vested in them. Because as you may be aware, once the title is vested in the institution can pass on the title, or the institution can trade it, or can create third-party encumbrances. And I'm sure we're all familiar with these estate arrangements which are made by state institutions with private business entities. So I believe it is that mischief that the provision of the new Land Act is to cure. But the most important point is that I take the point you are making, which is that it's a bigger issue. We will work with other state institutions, particularly the Ghana Standards Authority, to see how best we move forward. Thank you.
All right. So let's move to paragraph 2218, Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much, Chairman. This has to do with delays in utilizing your training school and wholesale facility. First, what is the current status of your facilities?
Honorable Chair, now the place is being used.
And is it being managed by GIMPA hostel facilities?
No. With the GIMPA agreement, unfortunately, because of the COVID, they could not honor the part that they were supposed to do. And then with retirement of those who were leading that agreement, it was mutually abrogated. So during that bid, the second person...
So who is managing it? Is it
right now it's Ghana Standards Authority, but the second place is now being consulted to do it, which is Cleaver House.
All right, okay. Yeah. Auditors, are you able to confirm if the place is in use?
Mr. Chairman, confirmed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chairman.
Let's move on to paragraph 2226. Honorable Aka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You varied the price of a project without the due process. And according to the auditors, you were to contact the audit team and have a copy of the materials and all that necessities. I would like to know whether you have now put your house in order. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Chair. That particular issue with the variation was done, I think, the two boards earlier on, and the previous board thought it wise that we have to write to the Central Tender Review Committee before we can effect any payment. And because we did not receive any response from the Central Tender Review Committee, we have not effected any payment yet. And as we speak, the case is even in court, the person demanding the money, but because we have not received any response, we've not paid.
But the job was done.
Not completed.
Well, auditors, since the problem is in court, I think we'll leave it as it is. Okay, thank you.
The job is not completed. The money the contractor is demanding, is it the money based on the work done, or is demanding payment for the entire contract sum?
Please, I will let my finance director answer that.
Honorable Chair, the amount the contractor is demanding is the variation in material price, which have not been approved. So we have not done any payment to that. And the situation was that the IOCO too have taken it up, and they are doing investigation on that. And we've not received any report from them.
All right. Let's move to paragraph 2234. Honorable Philip Baswa. There is an infraction on earned salary related to allowances paid, totaling 342,068 Ghana cedis. Now, the auditors are saying that a fully furnished accommodation, let me start with paragraph 2235. Paragraph 5 of the appointment letter of Dr. George Ben Crensel, dated 10th August 2015, which took effect from January 2011, state the following entitlements. A fully furnished accommodation. However, where such accommodation is not provided, you'll be entitled to a housing allowance of 20% of your basic salary. B, a chauffeur-driven and free maintenance official vehicle with 80 gallons of fuel per month for the official performance of your duties. C, a day and night security allowance of 100 cedis per month. D, a house help allowance of 200 cedis per month. E, a garden boy allowance of 200 cedis per month. Now he is also entitled to utilities allowance, water, telephone, electricity, amounting to 200 cedis per month. Now, the auditors noted from the review of the personnel file of the separated staff, that is Mr. George Ben Crensel, the former chief executive, was paid double salary related allowances from January 2011 to January 2017. They further noted that Dr. Crensel was provided with free accommodation, day and night security. The authority also paid for electricity and water bills at the residence. However, the executive director was paid all these benefits through the Controller and Accountant General. As a result, Dr. Ben Crensel was paid an unearned salary allowance of 342,068 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos. Now, the auditors are recommending to management to take the necessary steps to recover the money wrongly paid to Dr. George Ben Crensel, the former chief executive, and other office, and our office informed for verification. Has management responded to this and acted as demanded by the auditors?
Honorable Chair, yes, we have responded. We have put in every effort by writing to Dr. Crensel to settle that debt. We did not receive response. However, in 2018, there was this forensic audit that was launched, and it was also detected in that. So the matter was referred to IOCO. So IOCO is handling that issue now.
Well, clerk, take note of the two issues that are before IOCO. The first one is the demand for variation by the contractor which is before the IOCO, and then the double salary paid to the former chief executive. Take note of this. There are two before IOCO. Okay. So, are you getting any update from IOCO?
Unfortunately, no.
So, why are you not following up to know the status of this? Because it affects your authority. You can't leave everything to Yoko. You need to do a follow-up.
Honorable Chair, actually there has been a follow-up, and the board has also been advised by the legal person on the board that we seek advice from the Attorney General as to how to proceed. So we are yet, I think they gave by the middle of this month that we'll meet the Attorney General, so we are working on that.
Yeah, because the Yoko might have taken some action. You need an update. Even the board need an update from Yoko before even going to the Attorney General. They need to know what Yoko is doing before you get to the Attorney General. Then you can then explain to the Attorney General the stage reached by Yoko on this matter.
All right, we will do that.
Okay.
Chairman, I have a question here. The Director of Finance.
Now, paragraph 2242 is on payment of salary from IGF, 291,570 Ghana cedis. The auditors noted that the governing board of the authority determined and approved a basic salary of 18,337 Ghana cedis per month and other related allowances to the Director General for the 2017 financial year. However, the auditor did not see any financial clearance or correspondence from the Ministry of Finance approving the salary and the related allowances. The auditors further noted that the Director General was paid salary and related allowances amounting to 291,570 Ghana cedis, covering the period of 12 June 2017 to 31 December 2017 from internally generated fund in contravention of the Retention Fund Act 2007 at 735. Now the details of the payment are shown: the net salary 187,000, the tax component 68,000, and then superannuation amount of 35,000. That gives us a 291,570. The auditors have recommended to the board to seek retrospective approval from the Ministry of Finance to rectify the salary and the related allowances paid to the Director General. They also further recommended that the amount paid to the Director General should be recovered from his salary from when financial clearance is obtained from the Ministry of Finance. Management responded that payment to the Director General's salary from IGF has been stopped pending resolution by the governing board and the Ministry of Finance. Can you update the committee on the status of this?
All right, Honorable Chair, the update is that now we have the clearance from Ministry of Finance, which we have made copies available to the auditors, and whatever arrears that was there has also been settled.
The recommendation is that first you get clearance from the Ministry of Finance. Secondly, this money was paid to the Director General. It should be recovered from him. Has it been recovered from him?
Yes, sir.
Auditors, can you confirm this?
Mr. Chairman, a letter dated 12 July 2021 from the Ministry of Finance approved the salary and allowances effective June 17th, 2017. What it means is that the time that they started paying him, this particular letter covered that. Thank you.
Honorable Yusuf.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, I'm sorry, I have to take you back to the first issue you raised about the winning off. You know, in the last parliament, the 7th parliament, they made an argument that they needed to be win off. A statement was read on the floor. The speaker directed that we should go ahead as a committee to win you off. And then we held several meetings with you. You even wrote to Ministry of Finance. That's what you told us when we met you at one point. So I'm now surprised you saying that you are yet to get there. You are as if you are not prepared for it. Meanwhile, you are taking some steps. Can you clarify this? Because what I know is that you even held a meeting with us, and you wrote to the Ministry of Finance asking to be win off. So you are now saying that you are yet to get there. I'm confused.
Honorable Chair, as I said earlier on, it is a process that we are following. And every process has a beginning and an end. So definitely there will be an end.
Did you write to the Ministry of Finance on this matter? Did you?
Can you confirm for me?
Wrote to Ministry of Finance. Yeah, Prof. Honorable Chair, I think Professor Dodu wrote to Ministry of Finance for the winning off.
Yeah, so for me, I think if it is something you want to continue, push it. Because you have demonstrated to us that you are capable of standing alone. And we all agreed. And we're helping you to do it. So I'm now surprised that you were now backtracking. Once you agree to go, we are with you as a committee. And that's all that I want to state, okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you. We are not abandoning it. We will still pursue.
The issue is that when, because the former Director General wrote or was of the view that the authority was ready to win off. Now you are the new Director General. You are having a different view that you need to take it gradually. That is why we have the problem. Has something changed? After the former Director General was changed and the new one come, the situation changed. Is that the case?
Honorable Chair, there has not
or is it new king, new law?
Honorable Chair, there has not been any change. It is the implementation of whatever we have started. So definitely we are on course, and we will liaise with the ministry and with our board, and definitely we will inform the House as to the end time.
But Chairman, has there been a change? He's acting. So I don't think there's a change. He's still acting. Another man, I mean, as a committee member, we are not aware that he's been relieved of his post. He's on leave.
Oh, the minister is here. He can tell us. Is that the former, okay, let me not say former. Is the Director General, Professor Dodu, has he been relieved of his post or is on leave where we have the new one acting?
Mr. Chairman, he was asked to proceed on leave. He's not out of post.
So he's on leave?
That is so.
That's possible he will come back?
I wouldn't know.
I say possible.
Oh, it's possible.
You are the director. Why you are the minister, caretaker minister? Why you say you don't know?
Well, it will depend on a lot of factors. As you know, investigations are being conducted, and the investigations are not complete.
Oh, he's to proceed on leave for investigation to be conducted.
That is the brief I have.
Has he done something wrong?
And the investigation must be concluded.
You
cannot make a conclusion on that unless the investigation are over, Mr. Chairman.
Is he suspected of doing something wrong?
I cannot make that point.
If you don't suspect somebody, you don't conduct the investigation.
Mr. Chairman, what the point I'm making is that he cannot be wrong before the investigation.
And I'm saying that, has he been suspected?
Allegations were leveled against him.
You are not talking.
Mr. Chairman, but that's a dramatic difference between making the conclusion that he's been done something wrong.
No, I'm not making that conclusion. I'm talking about suspicion. I'm talking about suspicion, which is the same like allegation. Okay.
Well, I'm not too sure suspicion is the same as allegation.
All right.
My point is the allegations have been made against him. Investigations have been conducted. When they are over, we take it from there.
So he was asked to proceed on leave because of the allegation made against him, so that he can pave the way for the investigation to be conducted.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Minister, my worry here is the problem with so-called double pay and issues with the Director General. Paragraph 2238 says, in the middle of the paragraph, it says, failure by the Director of Finance and Human Resources to take steps to stop these payments or informed Controller and Accountant General Erling to recover these from his salary also contributed to this anomaly. I mean, if you're a Director General, you are acting and you are confirmed, whatever your paycheck is, what you take. The Director of Finance, where is this Director of Finance? Sir, why did you fail to do what you were supposed to do?
Honorable Chair, when we were conducting the salary validation, we realized that he's being paid his monies because we know he have been house furnished and everything. We are paying electricity. So on the system, we stopped controller from paying him, and they went ahead and paid. So we wrote to controller for them to retrieve the money back, and they said that money is coming from our budget, so we should retrieve the money. So that is the situation we find ourselves now.
But you see, when you go ahead and make payments up to 342,000 Ghana cedis, when the monthly salary is 18,000 Ghana cedis, that's a very long time.
Honorable Chair, I think it's for a period. So he was given back pay. That's 2016. This is in there. It was a back pay, so it's a bulk money that was coming, and we stopped it. But controller went ahead and paid. So that is the situation that we found ourselves. It's not for a period, but it's a one-time payment that was made.
That'll be all for Ghana Standards Authority. Let's have, not all for the ministry, it's all for Ghana Standards Authority. Let's now have Ghana Supply Company Limited. Ghana Supply Company Limited. Standard Authority, you are discharged. Ghana Supply Company.
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, the information I have is that the Ghana Supplies Company is not under the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And as a matter of fact, the Chief Director is supposed to have written to that effect. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you written?
No. Yes, in the last call, Exim and Supply Commission was put under the ministry, and I wrote formally to inform clerk that they are not part of our ministry.
So, Supply Company is under which ministry?
Mr. Chairman, I cannot provide you with that information.
What kind of country is this?
I don't have it. It's not under the ministry.
Hey. Auditors, you put them under Trade Ministry, so I'm going according to your report.
Mr. Chairman, similarly, they put Exim under the Exim Bank under the Ministry of Trade and Exim Banks under the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah.
What about Ghana Free Zones?
Now, Ghana Free Zones Authority, that one too is not under the ministry?
It is, Mr. Chairman.
This one you can't run away.
We can't.
Kindly introduce yourselves to the committee.
My name is Ruth Atanga, Deputy CEO, responsible for operations.
Honorable Chair, my name is Stephen Frimpong, Director of Finance.
Honorable Chair, my name is Kwame Nsiasante, Director, Estate and Zones.
And I am John Ada Abuga, Director, Compliance and Monitoring.
Deputy CEO, I'm told you the CEO is not available. He's travel.
Yes, Honorable Chair, he's out of.
So you are Deputy CEO in charge of operation.
Yes.
How many Deputy CEOs do you have?
We are two.
You are two. The other one is in charge of
Finance.
administration, finance and administration. Okay.
Yes.
And okay, let's go straight to the issues on your operational result, paragraph 2270, where you have in 2018, you dropped from a surplus of 60 million to a deficit of 14 million. Your profit dropped by 184% into a negative 14.1 million Ghana cedis. What happened? Your operating income dropped by 31%, and your other income increased, all right, but your total income dropped by 22%, and your total expenditure increased by 41.9, almost 42%. What happened before your income dropped, yet your cost is increasing?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. When you look at our operation as an authority, our major source of income comes from land that we lease from our enclaves. In 2018, most of the lands in our enclaves have been leased out, and therefore you can see that the operating income dropped by 31%. So most of, our major income source dropped. And then that particular year, the difference between our transactional rate and the closing rate resulted in an exchange difference of 6 million.
Deputy Minister, is that your former place?
Yes.
So you dropped the income like this? 2018, you were there.
I think that a very good response has been given to that question. And it is not just me dropping it, and it. I don't.
So
Mohammed, do you have any
if
issue?
your major source of income is the lands that you lease, it means that we'll get to a point that you not get any income from that source again.
As a matter of fact, before I exited, we had created a lot of areas that will be able to generate more money, and that's how come you could see that things have improved. But when we went,
what my question is that
I'll come to the question.
My question. Wait. My question is that this particular revenue source, when you finish leasing all the lands, you will not have that source again. That's my question. You create other ones.
Yes.
But for this one, a time will come, you will not have any income from that source again, isn't it?
Chairman.
Okay.
Yes, Chairman, sorry.
So you can now provide the answer in terms of the other sources that you are creating, so that you can make the authority sustainable, because you need more revenue to sustain yourself. What other sources of revenue you are creating to ensure that you sustain your revenue flow?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. With regard to the premium or the lease, the lease that income that we generate from leasing, we are currently developing land banks in Takoradi. Maybe the director of Enclave can throw more light. We are also in Kumasi. And Takoradi is very, very active. Most companies are locating there. So going forward, that is where we are hoping to, Thank you.
All right. Let's move to paragraph 2279 and Deputy Ranking.
Thank you very much. Free zones. There was an amount of 62,837 which was in transit to the Bank of Ghana from your commercial bank account, which we cannot trace. First, what has happened to it? Are you able to trace it now?
Honorable Chair, the fund has been traced and our account has been credited, and we have updated the auditors.
Auditors, can you confirm if...
Mr. Chairman, the amount was credited to the accounts on the 13th of August 2021. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you. The next one is paragraph 2285, unrecovered investment, 17.3 million Ghana cedis. The auditors recommended that you should put in place measures to contact the receiver of these failed financial institutions and recover the money. Have you done that?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Thankfully, under the government bailout policy, we were able to recover all the investment.
Auditors, can you confirm?
Mr. Chairman, confirmed. Thank you.
Let's move to paragraph 2291, Deputy Ranking.
Thank you. This has to do with long outstanding receivables totaling 2,946,039.18 Ghana cedis. We realize that you have a long outstanding receivables on your books, and this is as a result of your inactiveness, hence your inability to settle this indebtedness. First, have you been able to close this chapter on your books?
Honorable Chair, unfortunately, no. We've been able to retrieve part of the outstanding receivables. Out of the amount that were mentioned, we have retrieved 28% of it, which is 821,896. The rest are part of debt that the auditors recommended in the year 2020 to take the necessary steps to get it expunged from our books. So we have accordingly written to the Ministry of Finance to get approval from.
All right, there are three items: power usage receivable, ground rent receivable, and license renewal receivables. Which ones have you written to Ministry of Finance to expunge from the books?
All of them except the license. The one collected is license renewable that we've been able to,
That is 892.
Yes, all of them are part of the debt that we are seeking to write off.
No, you said you've collected some amount.
Yes, the 821, yes.
All right, so you have 821,000.
Very well.
All right, okay. Auditors, can you confirm if first they've been able to collect these monies, and two, if you cited a letter to the Ministry of Finance requesting that they expunge this from their books?
Mr. Chairman, the amount recovered is 821,896.04. That one we verified, and we were also given the letters indicating that they've written to the Ministry of Finance for them to go ahead and appeal to Parliament to give approval. Thank you.
Kindly follow up so that it doesn't appear in your subsequent audit report. Thank you.
Well noted, Honorable Chair.
Let's move to paragraph 2296, Vice Chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You paid legal fees, and you did not withhold taxes on that. And that amount is $7,500 US. And management, your excuse was it was an oversight. Have you corrected this oversight?
Honorable Chair, the payment was in relation to a court action that was brought against the authority and, for that matter, the Attorney General. So it was in settlement of compensation that has been ordered by court. So we were mandated or ordered to pay, including the legal fees of the plaintiff. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
So you didn't answer my question. The question was, you were supposed to deduct taxes from that amount. You said it was an oversight. Management responded that it was an oversight, and it's well noted, and management has taken the steps to contact the stakeholders involved for possible retrieval or refund of the tax component. The question is, have you retrieved this amount, and have you paid this tax withholding that you refuse to do?
Honorable Chair, the response then was that we would take steps to contact the necessary stakeholders in this matter. When we did, it came to light that this is a court, judgment order, and court order is an order. So you pay, without the full amount, sir. Thank you.
Auditors, what do you say about this, his response?
Mr. Chairman, I think upon the second look at it, what the information that we got was that the one who took them to court after obtaining the judgment was supposed to be paid a certain amount, and he directed that a portion of it should be paid to a third party. And when the payment was done, they didn't withhold the tax, but we realized that they were not supposed to withhold any tax from the third party. So that is the situation now.
So this one, it means that they weren't supposed to withhold, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'm done.
Let's have the last one, paragraph 2302, Honorable Isaac Opoko.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, 2302 is about Buanka land encroachment. Your free zone land at Buanka is being encroached upon. And at the time of auditing, quite a number of buildings are were springing up. Before I go to the recommendations made by the auditors, I want to find out what is the size of the enclave at Buanka? The size of land at Buanka?
Thank you, Honorable. It's about 1,099 acres at the Joso traditional area. 99 acres.
Oh, okay. And the extent of encroachment?
We've commissioned a surveyor to resurvey the whole land and let us know the extent of encroachment. We are waiting for the surveyor's report, and we'll finish the committee with the report when it's ready.
Okay, now let's go to the auditors. They've made 3 recommendations. One is to secure the enclave, and then the second one is to evict the encroachers, and then the last one is to negotiate with the encroachers and to see if you can relinquish the encroached portions of the land. Have you been able to carry out these recommendations?
Honorable, yes. We are waiting for the surveyor's final report, and then we will be able to take steps on this issue. Meanwhile, the good thing is that the land has been added to the Greater Kumasi Industrial Park project. So that will also even stop the encroachment.
So are you telling this committee that since this report was issued, 2020, there hasn't been any further encroachment?
Yes, please. Because we've had engagement with the traditional authorities, the landowners, and now there's no more encroachment.
That's good to know.
Thanks.
Chairman. All right, so that'll be all for the Ministry of Trade and Industry, but there's one public interest question from Honorable Yusuf.